GoHuskies.com with women's golf coach Lou Mulflur. Lou, you guys just found out that you're going to be sent to the Central Region of the NCAAs, and you're going to be going to the University of Oklahoma, Jimmy Austin OU club. First of all, what are your thoughts on getting sent to Oklahoma and the field there, and what do you know about that course?
Well, we're excited to obviously be in the field, first of all, and we knew there was a pretty good chance we'd get shipped out of the West. The team's actually excited to go to Oklahoma. It's somewhere we've never been, and so it'll be a new venue. I've never stepped foot on the golf course. None of us has played the golf course or really knows much about it. I've heard nothing but great things about it, that it's one of the best courses, public facilities in the country, so we're excited about it.
Coach Matt Thurman of the men's team, I know he has been to that course, and maybe a couple times even.
Yeah.
Is this one of those cases where you're going to sit down with him and have him go over the course with you at all? Or?
Yeah, I would definitely talk to Matt about it. They just got back from Pac12s, but I'll be planning on picking his brain here the next few days and see what he has to say about it.
Speaking of the Pac12s, you guys just had a second place finish. Your best ever in school history. Congratulations on that.
Thank you.
What does that mean to you and your program finishing that high in the Pac12s?
Well, I think it gave us a little momentum. You know, we've kind of struggled on and off this spring, but, you know, there were, I think, 4 schools within 10 shots of each other going into that last round. And, you know, USC was kind of running away with the team title, and they came out hot. So any thoughts you really had of catching them kind of dissipated early. So it really became that battle for second. And, you know, I think it was us, UCLA, Arizona, and ASU. And, you know, they're perennially great schools, and the team really played well. The conditions got a lot tougher that back nine. It started to get windy, and they just rose to the challenge and played really well coming down the stretch. I think we had a couple of birdies on the last hole, which is a par 5, and that ended up kind of being the difference. You
have to take some extra satisfaction out of beating UCLA on their own home course too, right?
Definitely, and they are a very good team. They will definitely contend for the national championship. But, you know, it's always fun when you beat somebody on their own golf course, no question. And that's where the UCLA coach, Carrie, grew up there, knows the course like the back of her hand. And so it was fun to be able to get a win over them.
Now, Coach Mulflur, you have a very young squad. We've talked about it numerous times. Do they just keep amazing you every time out with how strong they are and their, I guess, their maturity for such a young group?
It's starting to amaze me less, only because they continue to do it every time, and they've kind of spoiled us. They just go out and play well and play hard, and they don't make mistakes, and I've used the term resilient all year with them, and that's what they are. Whether it's after a bad hole, a bad round, a bad tournament, they just keep plugging along and keep going, and they find a way to get it done.
You've been doing this for 30 years now. Do you think it's safe to say this is your best team you've ever had yet?
Well, that depends. You know, we've had a couple of good finishes at the championships. I think 6th is our best finish a couple of times. So time will tell, you know, but there's certainly probably the first time I've had the talent to really make a run at that number and get inside the top 5 and get a shot at winning the thing.
History says that this is statistically, you have 2 of the best players you've ever had. Yeah. Subin Kim's got the lowest scoring average ever in team history, and right behind her is a freshman, Charlotte Thomas. What's it like to have two players of that caliber leading your squad every day in and day out?
Yeah, it's been great. I mean, they've played every round for us, every tournament, and they're so consistent. They rarely play poorly. They're not going to hurt you ever. They both have great work ethics. They both work hard. So it's, you know, it's a comfort. It's a luxury to have 2 players that young kind of leading your team.
Is it safe to say that also the other 3 girls, and Jen Yang in particular, she seems to really have turned her corner in the last couple of tournaments, right?
She really has, and you know, I think it was her first round at ASU. She shot 5 or 6 under, and you know, since then she's really played very steady and very well. And those are the kinds of scores that she's capable of putting up. And I think she's just kind of maybe said, okay, I'm not going to fight it. I'm just going to play and not worry about outside stuff. And since she's been able to do that, the scores have dropped for her considerably.
And Sid Okina, she showed some signs at times throughout this whole year, but especially at the Pac-12s, I think, right?
Yeah, that last round, you know, that was one of the rare times Charlotte and Subin didn't have a particularly good day at the same time. and Sid comes up with 69 in what I said were very difficult conditions. Like I said, it got very windy. It made things very challenging, but I mean, you couldn't ask for a better time for somebody to come up with a great number that we needed. And for her, I think just a boost of confidence. She's a great player. We all know she's capable of shooting those kinds of numbers, and she just needs to believe it like the rest of us do.
Now, we were talking earlier about the diversity of this team. You have kids from all over the globe. What do you think? Why do you think they get along so well? I mean, they're all from such different backgrounds. I mean, but they all seem to really like each other and get along, right?
Yeah, they do, and they've really gelled. I think the last, probably the last month or so, they've really started to gel as a group, that starting five. And I think it's just because they're willing to acknowledge that they're different. And nobody's looking for somebody to be just like them or somebody to do what they want to do. You know, instead of poo-pooing the differences, they're like, okay, let's go try that. That's what you do, let's go do that, you know. And so it really creates this, they make it fun to explore the differences instead of trying to kind of shut them down.
Now, I know that most of your girls have played in the NCAA regionals before last year. 3 of them did, at least. One of your more experienced girls, Kelly Bowers, who actually played in the NCAA championship, she's been battling injury all year. Can you update us on her and how she's progressing?
Yeah, it's been tough on her. Obviously, she hasn't been able to play for us this spring, and she's recovering and rehabbing a back injury. That's really been it's been really hard on her. It's bothered her for quite a while now, and we think we're finally on the right track. She's got a great trainer working with her down in our athletic training office, and so it's a tough one, but at the same time, we wanted long-term results for her as opposed to, okay, let's just see if we can get through it and then have the summer. But we need her in our lineup come September, and so it was a tough decision, but we felt like giving her that extra time to rehab was really going to be a benefit for her long-term.
All right, Coach. Thanks for your time. Good luck in Oklahoma. We'll talk to you when you get back.
All right, thanks, BT. Go Dogs.